Hi everyone, welcome to Secret. So, I was thinking today about a gentleman I knew years ago, and he was actually quite a wealthy man. And he invited me over to his apartment. And when I went, I was actually kind of shocked because he was a happy guy, single, um, and his apartment was like empty. I, I don't, and I didn't immediately get it. Um, he had a couch, and he didn't have a TV. He didn't watch TV. He obviously he had a kitchen and useful things in the kitchen. He had a table, but what I mean to say, it was kind of empty. I mean, you would expect, and it wasn't very big either. You would expect that someone who is well-to-do, which he was quite well-to-do, to have more stuff. Anyway, I got into a discussion with him about it, and he simply told me, you know what, I'm much happier this way. Okay. Well, after I began to learn Kabbalah, I began to understand really the secret of what this gentleman sort of understood, I think innately, but what we sometimes fail to understand. So we know that everything in this universe is made up of two parts. If it's physical, it's not only physical. If we can see it, if we can feel it, we can touch it, and if it can do something for us, there's energy in it. Now, we know that the force within anything has a name. It's called light of wisdom, or the chokhmah, the light of wisdom. Now, the light of wisdom is the actual force, it's the name of the force, it's a godly force that gives us the benefit, the fulfillment. In fact, it can be anything. And what I mean by that, it can be anything. That energy or that light can take any form for us. What do I mean? Well, if I have a car and I love the car, why do I love the car? Do I love it because it makes me feel secure and safe? Do I love it because of how I think I look in that car? Do I love it because it gives me, a certain kind of image? Everyone is an individual, so therefore your car, as an example, can make you feel a certain way, but it's only one car. But the force of energy that is within that car has it's a variable, okay? It's a variable because we know energy takes the form of the vessel that holds it. Again, energy takes the form of the vessel that holds it. So even though the physical vessel is a car, the car is only a channel to channel some energy to me. Now it is me and my consciousness that creates the vessel for whatever I want from that energy that is being channeled by the car, but it's being harnessed by me. I hope that makes sense. So let's take a relationship now as an example. What does a person want from their relationship? Do they want peace of mind? Do they want security? Do I want freedom? Do I want companionship? Do I want loyalty? I mean, look, how many things can we want from a relationship? Many, many, many different things. Now, it is only the other individual in the relationship which is just there to channel a certain energy. But it is I and my desire which is holding, which is encompassing that energy. So while, each one of us in a relationship can mean different things to different people. One person can mean loyalty to one, another person can represent freedom to another, right? It depends on my vessel or desire of what energy I will draw. And that's a very important idea because, we don't all awaken the same energy in everyone. We all awaken something else, and we also, and other people awaken something for us, and vice versa. Simple reason that we don't like everybody necessarily, and not everybody likes us for the same reason. And I don't want to go off the topic too much, but my point was that each one of us and everything in our life are made up of two parts: the physical aspect and the energetic aspect. Why did I tell you about my friend who had an empty apartment? He was very happy. And I only understood a number of years ago why he was such a happy person. And the simple reason is that he didn't have a lot of things to bog him down. Now, we all generally like stuff, okay? Now, we have to admit, most of us, I know I do, we like stuff. We like stuff. We like to have stuff. We like to use stuff, hopefully use stuff. But the problem, and I say it's a problem, or okay, let's call it a challenge. The challenge is that when we acquire something, and of course it's great in the beginning, we may use it a lot, but if we lose the use of it, we'll put it away. We'll put it on the shelf. We'll put it in the closet. Now, that object, that thing, that clothing, those tools, those chairs, whatever, if they're not being used, what it actually means is there is light, spiritual light, which is a part of my consciousness, because remember, I enjoyed it at one time. That means I connected to it with my desire and vessel. But if I stop enjoying it or stop using it, what happens now? What happens then? You see, the covering, or the physical covering over energy, has a name. In Kabbalistic teachings, which are the mystical teachings and understandings of the universe, as we probably well know, it is called a klipa, a shell. So everything has a shell around it. Light has a shell around it. It's the physical covering. And if it's not being used, what is being used means the light is being expressed. The energy of that thing is being expressed. If it's not being expressed, then what's being expressed? The shell, the covering. Now imagine your life is full of coverings, because when we have a lot of stuff that we don't use, if we have a lot of clothing, old clothing that we don't wear anymore, if we have a lot of, whatever, anything in our life that we're not using, clutter, papers, things that we're saving for years and years and years. Some things, of course, if they have a sentimental value, maybe photographs and stuff, well, let's say that's okay. But, I know people, and I know I've been guilty myself, of keeping things that I think have sentimental value, but it's really clogging up my life. Clogging up your life because it is part of the klipa. it is more shell than light. Why? Because the light of it is not being expressed. And again, it's one of two options. If the light isn't being expressed, meaning by its use, its expression of what it was meant for, it's doing something for me, I'm enjoying it, then it's sucking our energy, because that's the nature of klipot. Shells draw. Light shares. Shells draw. So if my life is filled with shells, in simple language, it's sucking my energy. Sucking my energy. It's not allowing me to have clarity. It's making me confused, because that's what shells do. They don't allow us to see clearly. Now, can you imagine for a moment, I know this is maybe a stretch for some of us, but imagine that there's a new opportunity for me to earn lots of money. And I'm trying to keep it simple. But because my house is cluttered, or because I have too much old clothing, I don't see the opportunity. Is that possible? Absolutely possible. Now, I know it's a stretch. What does one thing have to do with the other? Well, but everything is consciousness. And our awareness of things become limited when we have, too many coverings. Spiritual coverings block. The energy of covering blocks us. It's as simple as that. Light clarifies everything. Light allows me to see everything that I need to see. But coverings block. So, if we want to take a step in removing coverings, go on a mission. Take a Sunday, pick a Sunday, don't procrastinate. Say, I'm going to do this Sunday. Excuse me. And go around your apartment, go around your house. Take a pen and paper with you. Make a list of things you are willing to discard, things you are willing to get rid of. Minimalize your life. In a way, as much as you can. Why? Because when you remove the material, when you're willing to remove maybe even the popular names, when you're willing to remove, again, even the reason why I have this is because it's a popular name. Would you believe that name, that popular name, can be concealing light from me? Because who has the energy? The name has the energy. It's not me. Oh yeah, I'm enjoying wearing that. And what am I getting enjoyment and pleasure from? From the energy in the thing or someone else's name? Make no mistake that if our headspace is there, it's causing us coverings. It's causing us not to see some part of truth in our life. Can be confusing us. Can cause us to make mistakes that we might not ordinarily make. Our focus might be off. So many things. This is such a powerful idea. So, make that list. What am I willing to get rid of? What do I want to change? What consciousness do I also need to change about acquiring new stuff? Ask myself questions. Do I really need this? Is it a temporary desire? Is this something I really need and I will use it and it will benefit? The more you use something, the more light you bring out of it. And it's a deeper understanding, but that's what tikkun or karmic correction means. It's not only us that have a karmic correction. It's also things in our life that have a karmic correction. When they have been used by us and we don't need it anymore, if it's still useful, it means there's still energy. but maybe not for us. That means someone else needs to take the energy out and use it. Use it till it's done. Then it should be discarded. If it can't be used, it should definitely be discarded by us. And you know what the benefit is? Number one, you're going to feel free. It's going to be hard. It's going to be like letting go. But when you let go, and there's a little difficulty in it, it's a little painful, but you let it go, your mind will open up. You're going to feel more creative, less confused. You'll be able to see perhaps more new opportunities coming your way. The more difficult it is for you to let go, the more miracles, big or small, you will see happen in your life, and that will open because you've opened up yourself to more new light and energy. Be blessed, everyone. Remember, where your head is at, that's where you're at, and I will see you on the next video. All the best.